Santa Cruz has got a special place in a lot of people's hearts. We're really like tight-knit community. There's a lot of history as far as fishing goes, but the fishing community here has kind of dwindled.
There's no way of planning in this business. It just gets real quiet in the harbor. Even though it's sunny and beautiful, there's just no one around.
You got to go to work to survive, and it's hard to survive when you can only fish for 4 or 5 months out of the year. I've seen it go bad, and I've seen it come back real good. It'll change again. It'll change. Just tighten your belt up. That's all you can do.
People are hanging on by thread, just trying to figure out how to get by. You never know what you're going to catch. You never know how much you're going to make. And that's a draw to people. It's the adventure of it. I was born and raised Santa Cruz. My dad was a minister of a church. I was homeschooled, never went to public school. I started fishing with my dad. Since he was a minister, we were able to go fishing all the time. Probably 3 or 4 days a week. I think I was fishing off the Santa Cruz Wharf with my dad, and we were in a Zodiac, like a small raft. I remember that moment. That was probably the first time. It was a kingfish. It was like this big. My dad obviously planted the seed. He was a really good fisherman. For him, it was just a passion. He should have been a commercial fisherman. He would have made a lot of money doing it. That was like my life, was fishing. And it was just for fun. It was not for money. My very first paid deal was through Bayside Marine. We'd go in there, and in the mornings we'd get our bait to go fishing. And one morning, I was 10 years old. He gave me a salmon rig. I remember the exact packaging, everything. It was an eagle claw salmon mooching rig. And I caught like a 20-pound salmon on it. And I went in like a couple days later, and they were out of those mooching rigs. So he tied me up a couple rigs right on the spot. I watched him tie them up, and he taught me the knot. And I really liked it. I was like, man, I can do it myself. Then the next week, I came in there and I asked him if I could tie those leaders. He ended up sending me home with a box of hooks. Me and my twin brother went home and we tied up 1,000 hooks, like in a day or two. Like, we were obsessed with it. And he gave us 25 cents a leader. And so we were stoked. We were 10 years old. And then we would go around the harbor and we would wash the boats, and we get paid $20 a boat. The charter boat guys, they let us go fishing with them. They would pay us a tip at the end of the trip. When I was 12, I got my first full-time job on a charter boat. We'd sleep on the boats 3 nights a week. Our parents trusted us. We were these independent little kids that were making good money. We'd make $250, $300 a day. It's a lot of money for a kid that age.
Big ones are 10 pounds.
With fishing, you never know where the fish are. You're going off your intuitions. When you go there and you catch fish and you find those fish, it's special. It's like, it's an accomplishment. It's beautiful. Like, you're stoked on it, and you're just high-fiving. You know your buddy's saying good job to you without saying a word. And you're just bringing them on, and you're making money together, and there's nothing better. It's the funnest, like, way to make a living ever. With fishing, you don't get a check unless you catch the fish. It's something that not anyone can get. It's a wild fish in the ocean, and we're trying to keep a hold of it so that we can keep doing it in the future. But there's a lot of things against us right now. Opportunity is there to make a living fishing. Like, it can be very profitable. My house and everything I have has been built off fishing. What I have is what I've caught. You got to fish hard, and you got to save it. Yeah, see, that's only showing 4 fathoms there. A lot of people don't understand that they come in and they get a lot of money quickly, and they have these great seasons and they spend it all, and they hope that the next season they're going to make it again. And for the last 10 years, it's been that way. Like, there's been great seasons back to back to back to back. And then we have a season like 2023 where we lost our salmon season. It's probably 75% of my income. And we're looking at most likely a 2 to 4 year closure. The industry as a whole in California is really in the worst place they've been in a long, long time. There's the salmon fishery issues, there's the crabbing issues, entanglement issues, price issues. It's never ending. And so you see a lot of the fleet now kind of in this very stressed out, bad place. The fishermen that are out of work, there's no unemployment. If you don't have $50,000, $60,000 saved, you're not gonna be able to pay your mortgage, you're not gonna be able to pay your bills. These slips here are $620 a month for my little boat. So you're still paying the slip rent, you're still paying your $4,000, $5,000 insurance for a cheap boat. The larger boat here is $19,000 in insurance. And then you got your boat payments, it's another 50, 60 grand. You have to make a $80,000, $100,000 to just pay your overhead. It's gonna get harder for the industry to survive, knowing that, they don't have a paycheck coming. We don't know when it is, We're hoping in January we get to go crabbing, but that's since last year was when we made money.
Kind of got to be like a bear in this industry because, you might have to hibernate for 2-3 months of nothing. After the salmon closures and then going into a crab closure, they're just not able to make ends meet. I just lost huge revenue. Hopefully they don't regulate the industry so hard that people are completely taken out.
This is our little house. So all the crab pots under here and back there. Usually there's not all this stuff in here though. The Department of Fish and Wildlife has data sets on how these fish are managed. I run the association here in Santa Cruz. We try to model the best available opportunity. These are our name tags, so they identify the pot with a phone number. If the pot's ever lost or washed up anywhere, then it can be returned or they know where it's from. Stack these I'll just stack them over here. I'm there hopefully getting the most time possible for the fleet. My catch history of what I've caught over the years gave my input strength. All right, those are all done. My by myself, for myself attitude changed to how can I represent my friends? Unless you're strong as one, you'll break apart. This is our opportunity, this is our future, and how can we make it better? You like the work truck with the car seat? This is the water main for our crab tank. This whole thing will be completely full of tuna or crabs. It holds about 20 tons of tuna, and it holds about 38,000 pounds of crab in this tank. It shoots water through it, and it actually circulates the tank through the bottom. But I can turn off the circulating water for like 4 or 5 days without the crabs dying. Usually I have like 3 or 4 guys helping me with it, so it's not too bad right now. It's just off time. A lot of people are doing other jobs and there's no crab seasons. If they have work, I'm not gonna hold them back from working. We have to work with environmentalists. We get closed down early in the springtime due to the whales showing back up on their migratory pattern.
They get tangled in our crab pots. We got a lot of crab pot gear out there. And the fishing game don't want that. So we gotta wait till they're all cleared out, the whales or most of them, and then they say we could go.
The stock assessments show these whales are populating well. Every year we more and more, and you don't want to go kill a whale. You don't want to kill a turtle. You don't want it to happen, but it does happen. In life, there is death. If you drive your car down the street and you hit a deer, you're not going to go park your car for the rest of your life because you hit the one deer. We try to learn from our mistakes. So when something like that happens, maybe you take that turn a little more cautious.
Whatever comes out with the Fish and Wildlife's decisions, they are making regulations that make it, almost impossible for them to make a living, considering they make their best pricing through November, December for the holidays.
Hopefully we don't lose our Christmas market this year, but we'll see. People like fresh crab during the holidays.
They want to get together with their families and have big crab feeds and really sit down and enjoy something special. And when those holidays are gone, that need for the special gathering kind of goes away. Right now, if you're a young person and you came to me and you said, I want to be a fisherman, I'd probably tell you to go to college. My son, he loves fishing. If he came to me in 15 years and said, hey, Dad, I want to be a fisherman, I'd say probably go ahead. If he came to me right out of high school and said he wanted to be a fisherman, I'd probably say no. I'd do that just to have a backup. Anyone can be a fisherman if you don't have family. It's about the greatest job ever if you have no connections to land. It's tough to reconnect sometimes. So when we're gone for months at a time, sometimes we come home and it's like we're just not present yet. Like we're used to waking up and you work an 18-hour day and you have a goal. You wake up every morning, you make your coffee, you catch as many fish as you can. It's really set, like you have this plan for your day. And when you're at home, you're trying to decompress into this whole different lifestyle. Sometimes it's hard just to even get back to reality. The hardest struggle for me is being away from my kids. Really, when I fish, I blur out. I try to blur out. I try to not think about that as much because it really is tough to be away from it. When you miss those times with them, like their sports or these big moments, you never get those back. You just you miss out on that. And that's the hardest part with my kids. That's what it comes down to. Relationships aren't a strong suit of fishermen. People forget what they have at home sometimes. Lucky for me, I don't. I know what I have, and it's not worth losing that. My wife, I love her. She is everything. Works full time, she takes the kids to all their sports and school. Way harder job than I have. And then I come home and I'm like, hey, I'm Dad. I just try to make the time that I'm there special. Try to be present. But that's something I have to work on too, because then you come home and you do the fisheries management stuff. When I'm on these Zooms and calls, half these nights I'm not done till 8 o'clock, And last night, my wife had my son bring me dinner, I'm upstairs on a Zoom call. I'm on 10 boards right now. Not a dollar am I making for it. Our lives are not as fishermen right now. And it's really easy to get super negative and be like, it's over, we're done, we're bad investments, move on. It's hard to leave Santa Cruz. It almost traps you. And all these years of success have led you to this place. Your family's here, your life's here, you've built it here. And then you have failure, and it's tough to deal with. And eventually, people will move on. They will find other jobs, they will sell their homes. Once you get to a certain level, maybe your levels stop, And for me, Like, I don't have this, like, you know, I need to be a millionaire dream. You know, if I have a nice house with a good family and a good boat and a good business and good friends, that's all I need. I'm not looking to get rich. I just want to have a good life. That's the hope and dream, is that you can do what you love and support your family. Maybe that is your level up.